Welcome, curious minds, to TechDaily.ai. I'm David.
And I'm Sophia. It's great to be here.
We have a topic today that is genuinely reshaping how businesses operate from the ground up. But before we jump into it, just a quick message. You can sponsor this podcast for just $25. Your message will be featured across major platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and more. If you're interested, just visit TechDaily.ai to get started today. Okay, so let's unpack this. The last few years, we've all been excited about AI that could predict things.
Right. Forecasting, a bit of automation.
Exactly. But that conversation, it feels like it's completely shifted. We're moving into a new phase now, one defined by, intelligent autonomy.
That's the key phrase, intelligent autonomy.
And our focus today is on something called Agentic AI. It's AI that doesn't just suggest an action. It acts. It decides. It adapts, all on its own.
It's a huge distinction, a structural transformation, really. We're talking about a framework of autonomous agents. They're designed to make decisions, to initiate actions, and to adapt in real time.
So it's like creating a persistent digital workforce.
That's the perfect way to think about it.
And the market is definitely not sleeping on this. We've seen data, I think it's 55% of senior leaders are already planning deployments.
55%. And that's not just kicking the tires, that's active planning.
No, this is a decisive move. It signals real operational integration is happening now. So you have to care about this because, it's coming to your industry and fast.
Exactly. And to really get it, we have to define what true autonomy means in this context. The older models, they needed constant human intervention.
You had to hold their hand.
You had to hold their hand, yes.
Yeah.
The agent would do a step, then stop, and wait for a human to sign off. Agentic AI is different. These systems, they operate independently, they learn continuously and execute tasks with minimal oversight.
So no more hand holding. It just runs, it adapts, it learns all by itself, always on, always watching.
Precisely. And that persistent availability, that rapid responsiveness, that's what makes them so revolutionary. In a fast-moving business environment, think global trading or supply chain logistics.
Where a delay of minutes could cost millions.
Right. Agility and precision are everything. These agents provide that, within set parameters, of course, without needing to wait for a 2 a.m. human approval.
That brings up a huge question, though. What's the engine? What's powering this? What's the cognitive framework that lets them go beyond simple automation and into this dynamic, memory-driven intelligence?
I think what's fascinating is how these systems are built to emulate human cognition. They use a structured approach. It's known as the PRL loop.
PRA, that's it.
Perceive, reason, act, and learn. This loop is the cognitive framework that drives their intelligence and, crucially, their adaptability.
PRL. Okay, I like that. It's clean. Let's start at the beginning. If the agent is the brain, P for perceive must be the sensory input, right?
That's the one. The perceive stage is all about interpreting data from all kinds of sources: live feeds, sensor data from a factory, market changes, customer emails. Anything, really. It builds total situational awareness.
And it's not just a single snapshot in time.
No, it's a continuous stream. It has to be, because the environment is always changing, and that informs every decision it makes.
Okay, so it perceives reality, then it moves to R for reason. This sounds like the strategy part.
It is. This is where it evaluates all the possible scenarios, forecasts, outcomes, and this is the critical bit, it balances constraints.
Constraints like what?
Like cost, time, and risk. It has to think like a good manager, weighing all the factors to generate the best possible action.
So once it has a plan, the agent moves to A for act. How does it actually do something without, going rogue? How do the guardrails work?
The act stage is all about execution. And it could be anything from triggering a simple alert to initiating a complex financial transaction or even adjusting machine settings. The key is that it has to adhere to enterprise-defined guardrails. The action is autonomous, but it's not unchecked. It has to be safe and aligned with policy.
Okay, so perceive, reason, act. What's the final piece? The L that closes the loop and makes sure it gets smarter.
That's the learn stage. And honestly, this is the ultimate differentiator from older automation. This is the reflection stage. The agents analyze the outcomes of their own decisions. Did that action work? Did it achieve the goal?
Uh-huh.
They identify patterns, they integrate feedback, and they use that to refine their own models, their priorities, their future reasoning. They literally get better at their job over time.
That loop is what makes it so powerful. And I guess these agents aren't just one size fits all.
Not at all. Organizations are deploying very specialized, purpose-built systems. If the PRAL loop is the brain, you can think of these as the specialized limbs.
Okay, that's a good analogy. Let's imagine an organization is like a big construction site.
I like that. Let's run with it.
So walk us through the types of agents on this site. Who are the workers?
Well, first you have the taskers. Think of them as the individual specialist contractors. A plumber, an electrician, they do one specific defined job. They break it down into steps and get it done. They're focused, easy to implement, easy to scale.
Okay, so taskers handle the micro-level stuff. What are the bigger picture?
That brings us to the automators. These are your site foremen. They handle the broader cross-departmental goals. They're streamlining entire business processes, connecting workflows from different teams.
Making sure the plumbing and electrical work together.
Exactly. They see how it all fits.
Next up, you've got the ones that work directly with the human teams.
Right. Those are the collaborators. They're like the best personal assistants you could imagine. They work alongside people in real time, enhancing our decision-making. They watch how you work. They learn from your choices, and they refine their recommendations to help you do your job better.
And finally, the one running the entire project, the general manager.
That would be the orchestrator.
Yeah.
These are the most sophisticated agents. They operate across networks of other AI agents, human teams, even legacy systems. They coordinate everything, adapt to big changes, and just make sure the entire site runs smoothly.
This isn't just theory, is it? This is happening right now, driving real outcomes. Let's talk about some examples. What about in, say, banking and financial services?
Oh, it's moved way beyond just simple fraud alerts. Now agents are functioning like digital relationship strategists. They're handling smart loan underwriting, KYC validation. But the really game-changing part is the speed.
What do you mean?
An agent can dynamically adjust your credit limit based on your real-time spending patterns. Or it can detect complex cross-channel fraud in milliseconds.
In milliseconds. So you're not just detecting fraud, you're
preventing it. You stop it before the money is even gone.
That's incredible. Okay, what about insurance? You mentioned claims processing is getting a massive speed boost.
A huge one. The agent acts as a real-time risk assessor and claims processor. We're seeing motor and health claims being fully automated and settled in literally minutes.
Minutes, not weeks.
Minutes. It reasons through risk. It learns from new policies. It can even offer personalized coverage suggestions based on life events it observes. The value for the customer is almost instant.
Wow. Okay, one more. Smart manufacturing. How does an agent work on a factory floor?
It basically becomes an invisible supervisor. It's watching every millisecond of production. It learns from sensor data, from machine logs, from production outcomes, and it uses all that to predict failures before they happen.
So it's proactive maintenance.
It's more than that. It can autonomously adjust machine settings, initiate tiny micro-maintenance tasks, reallocate resources. The factory is constantly teaching itself how to be more efficient every single second.
That self-improvement loop is just fascinating. And we see this everywhere, right? Logistics, telecom, healthcare.
It's the same pattern: persistent availability, continuous learning, and action at machine speed.
But with all this autonomy, this power, the conversation has to turn to trust. How do you manage the risk when the system is acting on its own?
This is the critical question. Trust is the currency of autonomy, and you don't get it for free. It requires incredibly robust operational controls. We know, I think the number is 69% of organizations are prioritizing workforce enablement,
Training their people.
specifically in prompt engineering skills, so they can effectively guide and constrain these agents. Governance is paramount.
So what does that blueprint for responsible deployment actually look like? How do you mitigate the risk of an agent going wild?
It starts with the basics. You need clear objectives, clear scope boundaries, and every agent needs a unique identifier so you can trace every single action and decision back to its source.
An audit trail? That's non-negotiable. What about preventing failures before they happen?
That's where you need things like multi-agent systems designed so that one failure doesn't cause a cascade. But the really crucial part is deploying AI red teaming.
Red teaming, like in cybersecurity.
Exactly like that. You basically hire a team to try and break your AI. Try to trick it, make it violate your company's ethical principles. You are stress testing its guardrails before it ever touches a live system.
You're proactively looking for the weak spots. That makes a ton of sense.
And you back that up with immutable logging, a permanent, unchangeable record of every decision. And of course, you need clear fail-safes. If an agent goes outside its defined limits, you need an automatic kill switch.
For trust, though, it can't be a black box. You have to understand why it did what it did.
That's the most important step for governance. Transparency. You have to be able to reveal the agent's reasoning, the intermediate steps that led to its conclusion. We have to see the why behind the what.
Revealing the reasoning. That is how you get from blind trust to informed governance. Because even with all these safeguards, at the end of the day, human judgment is still the key.
It absolutely is. Human judgment isn't constraint on the system, it's the required context for it. The goal is to build a framework that combines the speed and data processing power of the agent with principled human oversight. Accountability can never be outsourced.
That's a perfect summary. Agentic AI is this huge evolution, moving beyond static automation. It's powered by that cognitive engine, the PRL, loop, perceive, reason, act, and learn. And that framework lets these specialized agents, the taskers, the automators, collaborators, and orchestrators, operate as this persistent, autonomous digital workforce.
And the only sustainable path forward is one that aligns that intelligence with integrity. Strong governance, comprehensive risk management, transparency, those are essential for building trust and unlocking the real value here.
Which leaves us with one final thought for you, our listener, to think about. Given that these agentic AI systems are designed to learn, that crucial L in the PRAL loop, and refine their own priorities based on what happens, what mechanisms do we need to build to make sure human judgment influences the learning process itself, and not just the action the agent takes? How do we prevent a long-term drift away from our core business values? Where does human oversight embed itself, not in the action, but in the machine's ability to self-correct? Something to chew on. Thank you for joining us for this look into agentic AI. We'll catch you next time.